If I had more than 1 million subscribers, I will be the happiest wolf ever. And that's an example in the second conditional. Yeah, we're gonna need our imagination a lot. What's up, everyone? Tsar here. Today we're going to see the second conditional. We're gonna go in this order, just as usual. First, the uses, then the grammar, then we check some details to take into account, and finally, some common mistakes you should avoid when using this topic. So, let's start. Well, yeah, not so fast. Before starting, I want to see your examples here in the comments. Okay, so I want you to give me your wildest, craziest, and most creative sentences using this structure. So now we can start. Do it in the comments. Well, unlike the first conditional, the second conditional is going to be for unreal things. Remember, the first conditional uses reality. And in the second one, we can go a little bit crazier than usual. Unreal is our focus now. And so anything that we have here, it's pretty similar, but cause and effect of an imaginary situation with an imaginary consequence. For example, if I didn't like Star Wars, I wouldn't subscribe to Disney's streaming service. Yeah, I subscribe to that thing, but only because I like Star Wars. If I didn't like it, well, that will be another story. And consequences, that they can be also imaginary. If crime didn't exist, we wouldn't need the police. Well, we need the police because actually crime exists. Imagining that crime doesn't exist is pretty unreal. Yeah, I wish that happened. And also, well, impossible events or impossible things to happen. For example, this one. I will fly to school if I had a pet dragon. And really, that will be awesome, but I don't have one. We are going to use this sentence for the grammar dissection. If I had 4 arms, I will use 2 keyboards at the same time. Yeah, I don't have 4 arms. I have only 2. Yeah, but you know what? We're gonna need some color. Whew, color. It helps a lot. Now, the first clause, well, we call it the if clause again. It uses past simple. Okay, we always use the past simple in this part. If I had 4 arms. Remember, have is the past form of have. The second statement, well, I would use 2 keyboards at the same time, is the consequence. The consequence usually uses would. And that's it. If I had 4 arms, past, I would use 2 keyboards at the same time. Another example. If Mike played soccer well, he would be a famous player in Europe. Well, I love the past because it's a really easy topic. Because the tenses don't change much. Well, they do. But in English, the past simple doesn't change with any subject. It doesn't matter if it is singular, plural. Yeah, it's really simple to use. So keep that in mind. The consequence again, use only would. I'm gonna be saying that a lot. Woo! This is a typical one. Every time we see a new rule or a new structure, we know that some exceptions may happen or something weird is going to happen. Well, thank you, English. You did it again. Well, if you're going to mention that the past simple for the verb to be is was and were, then you're correct. The problem is, well, in the second conditional, we are not going to say was. So if I was going to say this, I am not. If I were, I cannot say if I was. It sounds weird. Here an example. If I were taller, I wouldn't have problems with the cupboard. Well, yeah, I'm short. I have problems with that thing. As you can see here, we can only use were when we are using the verb to be. So keep that in mind. Same as other conditional cases, we have the option to change the order. I wouldn't have problems with the cupboard if I were taller. Yep, we can start with the consequence and then with the if clause. Common mistake number 1, not using the past simple well. Here we go with an example. If I was go there, I cannot even say the full statement. It sounds very bad. So if you have problems with the past simple, this is not going to be easy. I recommend you to check a video on that too. Well, there's a link right here, so use it well. Remember, the past of go is went. Okay, good. You did it first than I. Great. If I went there, I would invite you. That's the way to do it. Whew. Second type of mistake in this little topic, when people insist on using would in the if clause. That's not gonna happen. I think I repeat that several times before getting here, but yeah. If the doctor would come here quickly, that doesn't sound right. That sounds horrible. Yeah? The correct way to say it is, if the doctor came here quickly, I could leave earlier. So remember, would has nothing to do in the if clause. And finally, well, you may see that both sentences appear correct. If the doctor comes here quickly, I will leave earlier. Yeah, well, who are you talking about? Yeah, in the second conditional, unreal things are not necessarily crazy imaginary things with dragons and all. Reality depends also the context and the people we're talking about. So, this sentence is impossible. Why? Because I'm talking about this doctor, John. Well, you didn't know it, so how can I blame you? So let's talk about John. John is a laid back and slow paced person, so he's like the worst physician there, only because he's really slow. He's too slow. So, using a first conditional and with him as a protagonist, that wouldn't make any sense. We have to use a second conditional. Why? Because he's too slow, and we need somebody fast right now, and he's not gonna come here fast. So, sorry, we have to wait for him. So, if the doctor came here quickly, I could leave earlier. But nope, John is the slow one. And that's it. And that's it for the second conditional. I hope you like it, and if it is useful, don't forget to share it, and maybe subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Way too much. It's great help. So, I'm out of here. Tsar out. Take care.